Feel free to use my material any way you want. They're paying me to come get the gospel. What a deal. We're having a blast. We don't really have a plan, but someday we'd like to sell the lawnmower once everything gets covered with concrete. That's basically the plan, you know. You don't need to be very smart for this job. A friend of mine came to my house one day and he said, "Oh, hey, Brother Hovind, you got a canardly." I said, "A what?" He said, "Your dog, that's a canardly." I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah, look at it. You can hardly tell what kind of dog it is." Did you know that Adam spoke every language in the world? Well, there was only one, but he spoke it, okay? Reptiles never stop growing. Now, what would happen to a reptile if you put him in the Garden of Eden and let him live to be 900 years old? You'd have a big lizard, a really big lizard. The canopy of water that used to protect them was gone. And you're not going to make it to 100, or 200 for sure. You might make it to 100, but you won't make it to 200. Not in this world. There used to be a layer of water above the atmosphere. How it was up there, I don't know. The Bible says most of the water that's now in the oceans used to be under the crust of the earth. So there was water under the crust of the earth. That water that used to be under the crust came shooting to the surface when the fountains of the deep broke open. So if this is all true, did Noah take dinosaurs on the ark? You bring babies because they're smaller. Duh. You know, the biggest dinosaur egg ever found is smaller than a football. Skeptics will say, how did he fit those millions of animals on that little bitty boat? Now, hold on just a minute. He only brought the land animals, okay? Bring those with nostrils, no bugs. Bring babies, that's common sense. Bring 2 of each kind, not every single species or variety. Plus, how many were there? Many experts will tell you there are about 8,000 basic kinds of animals in the world. Just basic kinds of animals. But did you know if you just talk 60 words per minute, you could name all 8,000 animals in a little over 2 hours. Plus, Adam had an IQ of who knows what. I mean, he came pre-programmed straight from the hand of God. He could walk, talk, name the animals, and get married all first day. Really smart fella, okay? Anyway, the Bible says the earth was filled with violence. And so they went and got all this wood, and they built this big boat. Now, after the flood was over, Noah's son had a son and named him Arphaxad. Little Arphaxad's getting big enough. He's sitting on Grandpa's lap like kids do, and he looks around. He says, hey, Grandpa, I have a question. How come we're the only people in the whole world? Where is everybody? Eventually, that thought's going to cross his mind. And Grandpa's going to tell him the story about the flood. His life form found somebody to marry. Now, there's a good trick. And something to eat, of course, and slowly evolved into everything we see today. I just suspect maybe even the Atlantis story is another flood legend. And then I told them what they believe, because most of them don't know what they believe. You got to tell them. You guys believe 20 billion years ago, Big Bang, 4.6 billion years ago, the earth cooled down, it rained on the rocks for millions of years, turned them into soup, and the soup came alive 3 billion years ago. Would you look at what you're teaching your students? You're teaching your students that all the dogs in the world came from a rock. You can have any theory you want, but if the facts don't square with your theory, throw your theory away. They would have thrown out evolution a long time ago, except they don't have a replacement theory other than, maybe creation. Everybody else would get mad at God, right? Job lost it all. Said, okay, God, it was yours to begin with. Thanks for letting me use it for a while. Most of the book of Job is these guys telling Job why everything went wrong. They had to be Baptists the way I got it figured. That's what I am. They said, Job, everything's going wrong, huh? Oh, we know why. You sinned. Job didn't know about Romans 8:28. It was coming, though. Try this one. Did it ever occur to you that nothing ever occurred to God? Things occur to me all the time. I say, wow, I never thought of that before. Did you know that never happens to God? He has already thought of everything. He even knows and understands the imaginations of your thoughts. You can not only think about things, you can actually think about what you're thinking about. Think about that. God knows your thoughts. And get this, He loves you anyway. Wow, what a nice guy. I think Behemoth is the long-necked dinosaur, probably the Brachiosaurus. Actually, there are 13 different long-necked dinosaurs. The Brachiosaur, the Cetosaur, the Mamenchosaur, the Seismosaur, the Suprasaur, the Apatosaur, the Blondosaur. You'd be amazed how much hate mail I get from just that statement. I say, look, I'm blonde, my sister's blonde, my mother's blonde, my daughter's blonde. Okay? I like blondes. And I like making fun of them too. Okay, so back off. If you don't like it, edit this part of the tape out. All right? toe bone from a brachiosaur. Now, kids, this is going to be complicated, so listen carefully. The reason he had such big toe bones is because he had big toes. But basically, God made dinosaurs with Adam and Eve. They were big lizards before the flood. Noah took them on the ark. People began killing them. There are very, very few left today, but there might be a few still around. But don't let anybody tell you they lived millions of years ago. That is just plain baloney. Say I have 3 kids, one of each.